Today's session is all about listening to the language of your body. So welcome back to my kitchen. I'm so happy that you're here. In Ayurveda, the kitchen is not simply where we prepare our food. It's where we prepare ourselves. So every time that I step into this space, I see it as this opportunity to nourish my body, to settle my mind, and really to reconnect back to myself. And because healing doesn't happen in the big moments, it happens in these ordinary moments, like washing the rice, grinding the spices, stirring the pot, taking that first mindful bite. And this is what I call our kitchen sadhana. So sadhana, basically, it's a practice that we do every day and it transforms us. So when we think about, cooking, we're cultivating a relationship back to our body. And so before we start cooking, we should ask ourselves different questions to maybe what we are, as we're busy out in the world in the day. So I often ask myself, what kind of season is it? Is it hot outside, cold outside? Do I take the food that is the right for my menstrual cycle, that's going to ground and calm my body? So when we're looking at eating right for our menstrual cycle, the luteal phase, that's the phase before our bleed, past ovulation, it's that whole time building up to the bleed. And we want grounding foods, we want cooked foods, we want foods that are really going to give us comfort and nourishment. So, all the raw salads, all the cold foods and everything are not going to work. And then when we're in the follicular phase, the time after our bleed, and that restoration of the body, we can have more fresh, more light, more rooted, grounded vegetables. These are all going to help. And so we're listening really to the body through the way that it speaks, through our cravings, through our digestion, through our mood. And so today we're going to prepare 2 beautiful recipes that speak directly to a tired, overwhelmed nervous system that maybe is a little bit dry because we're in the summer season. And these are going to be really gentle and supporting for your healthy digestion. They're easy to digest. And so our first recipe is a golden saffron rice with quinoa. And I love that combination of basmati rice with quinoa because together they're both really comforting and stabilizing for the body, the blood sugar. Rice is very calming, whereas quinoa brings that protein. Together they make a more lighter dish than rice alone, let's say. And then saffron is a treasure. It's not only its exquisite color and flavor. Additionally, Ayurveda recognizes it as a beauty herb to uplift our heart and support our mood. Studied recently to help with mild anxiety and our mood. I'm also going to be sharing with you my favorite summer recipe. We've got the stuffed Medjool dates with pistachio, coconut and cardamom. They've been used for thousands of years. They're so deeply nourishing and energy boosting. To naturally sweeten and nutrify the body. We're often too afraid of sugar and we think, oh, it's too much sweetness, but it is a natural sweetness. And we need those 6 tastes that we cherish so much in Ayurveda. Sweet food helps to build and replenish your tissues, and it supports our Ojas, that deepest vitality. And so it can feel especially comforting on a depleted, dry or emotionally exhausted body. And dates are just a wonderful example. They provide that natural carbohydrates that offer that gentle, sustainable energy, fiber to support your digestion, minerals and potassium and magnesium, And these are all naturally occurring polyphenols, antioxidants. So Ayurveda considers them building and nourishing, making those particularly supportive when your body's
in recovery or depleted.
What are the signs of drying from travel? So you might notice it in your sinuses, you might notice it on your skin, your stool, if there's any constipation. You know, that's the gut, the intestines being dry. You will maybe notice it as itching, maybe some tiredness as well, some additional tiredness. Maybe it's dry eyes. Yeah, so this dryness can show up anywhere. It can show up in your gut, it can show up typically in your gut. You know, it might be that bloating. Vata is located in your lower region. You know, so it could be achy, clicky, popping joints in your hips. Could be achy legs, typically the site of Vata. Hope none of those are an issue for you. So I put in a teaspoon of ghee, and I'm going to put in a little bit of spices here. So what you've got here is some maybe some coriander, some fennel seeds, some cumin powder. I'm running out here. Oh. Took them in my travel pouch with me, I think, so. Touch of clove. And some cardamom.
Use the saffron threads, a pinch of those, and then pour on some hot water and allow them to bloom in the liquid. This helps to release the colour and the flavour.
Okay, another thing that I like to increase the Ojas in the rice is add in a sprinkle of raisins. And I know some people in your family might be, oh, no, take the raisins out.
Keep them in and make them take them out. They're good for you. Let's move on to the desserts.
See how good that is for restoring Ojas and your reproductive fluids and creating that juiciness inside of you. So raisins and dates, they're known as this rasayanas. Rasayana, that rasa, juiciness, that they restore longevity in the body. And that's why it's so important to add just these jewels into your food, into your recipes.
Mix the nut butters, the rose water, and the cardamoms that have been crushed into a paste. And then after you've cut the dates, you're going to fill them with this gooey, nourishing and lovely mixture. Nut butters are great for building Ojas, especially if you're Vata dosha. They're heavy and oily, and so they have these grounding qualities that are deeply nourishing for the tissues. But watch out if you're Kapha dosha. You're not to eat this sweet in excess. You can even add in some ginger powder or some cinnamon to help to spice things up a little bit for you, so that this helps with your Agni and your digestive type. After you stuff them, garnish them with some coconut.
These are our desserts. Let's see if I can get in a little bit closer. Delicious, nice and plump and ready to enjoy. Okay, let me get a plate for the rest. Okay, and this will typically last a couple of days, like one a day, with an afternoon tea or something, or after lunch. yeah, yummy.
Let's check back with our rice and quinoa mix. So that's been on for about 20 minutes. A quick tip here, if you're trying to make fluffy, perfect grain rice, is
super easy when you've got a cup measure. It's 1 cup of the grain and then twice the amount of boiled water. Okay, one question that may come up is, what would you eat that with, Amrita? So typically this weather and everything, I would put a cucumber raita with it, which is again cooling for Pitta dosha, very hydrating. And maybe some tofu on the side, or maybe a dal on the side. Or yeah, that's typically what I would create to go alongside that. But obviously do what works for your family. And otherwise, I look forward to sharing the picture with you. Okay, lovely. It was great to have you with me today.
if this has inspired you, then see you in the Sacred Vitality Collective. And if this has felt nourishing for you, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video where we explore Kitchen Sādhana together.